warm clothes now. Kind of
Yep.
cool. Yeah.
So what's fall? What's fall like in the marketing world?
Well, we're going into holidays, so people are either backing way off of their marketing because they're trying to close out everything we just brought them,
Yeah.
or they're doing holiday specials and trying to have a campaign plan for holidays. So it's kind of in one of those camps.
Right.
I have clients that we brought so much business to them that they don't want any more leads until January.
Yay, vacation
Oh,
time.
yay! It's like it's exciting news, right? I just met with someone today, and he's like, actually, we're really covered up, and I don't want any more ads on, and so it's going really well.
That's good.
Facebook advertising and search engine optimization, despite what Google's doing with all their new limitations, which are insane.
Yeah, isn't that crazy?
Yeah,
I don't know how many people realize it because one of the things I notice, right, is how Facebook keeps it all looking like it's been for the last 20 years. In reality, in the background, you can post something and it does nothing, right? It takes all kind of, and Google's that way too, right? What I'm reading right before we got on here was, if you don't go with their new website structures, right, your old websites, they'll still look the same, but they don't do anything. They won't be picked up and accepted and put out in front of people or anything like that. So you just be paying for nothing.
yeah.
Right?
And agencies are the bad guy. I have been
Yeah.
in such uncomfortable conversations this last month with clients
Yeah.
because we are being dictated to by the Google man how we can build sites that will rank on their search engine. They are telling us how it's going to be. They don't ask us, hey, can you guys vote on this? No, they tell us what the new algorithms are going to be, and we have to enforce them like a cop or something with our clients. And we have clients that get mad. I have a new client who's like, I love my current site. I don't want to rebuild it. It's beautiful the way it is. I'm like, I know it's super cool, but if you keep it the way it is, no one's ever going to find you.
Yeah.
So it's stressful. Both Facebook and Google have implemented huge changes, and it is very much in the background. Yeah. If you post on Facebook and you don't pay for an ad to promote that post, there's like 3 people that are going to see it. And I'm not exaggerating that much. So
I know it's so frustrating, right? It used to be such a cool little platform to tell your friends what you were doing, and now you can't even do that, right? They'll just block you.
So you have to hire us so that we can help you figure it out, and even sometimes we can't figure it out.
I hear you.
We try.
So, but that's the reason I left high tech and went to barbecue, because I don't have those problems in barbecue. I just get the meat, put it on the pit, enjoy myself, drink the coffee, and wait for the goodness to happen. Right. So.
Yep, that's why you left, and you don't have to keep up with all the crazies like myself and my team does. So you're lucky. You get to keep up with like the rising price of meat and hiring good staff, and yeah.
Oh Lord, don't get me started on that one. The inflation, it's so funny. I watch the news, and they talk about these 5-10% inflation rates, right? And going, I don't know what world they're living in, but we're running 50 to 60% inflation rates on supplies right now, compared to where we were at the beginning of the year. And they're telling us point blank in our face, it ain't going down. Get over it, right? It's a pretty harsh supply chain out there right now.
Mm-hmm. It is, and for me, it's very difficult to grow my staff because people are coming out of a year of being on unemployment, and some people's skills have gotten rusty, and it's affecting pay rates and what you can pay and what you get, and building a team is hard. Clients, there's no short supply of clients because everyone wants to sharpen their online presence, but getting people to do the work is so. If you're looking for a job and you want to learn digital media,
there you go.
Here we are. So yeah, I hear you. It's a crazy time. So we ended the summer and all the fun, and we had such a great summer here in the Pacific Northwest. The weather was amazing.
Oh, we did, didn't we?
Mm-hmm.
We had so much fun. It was a blast. After a year, it was such a total blast to get out with the people again. We did some really huge weddings. We've done some really big corporate parties, right, over the summer, and we had so much fun. Right? It was the weather was warm, and we had the smoke rolling, as we like to call it, right? And we really had a good time with a lot of people. And we're kind of getting our breath together right now in October. Because we're going to go towards holiday season here real quick. So this is usually where we stop, take a break. The guys get out. They can take a day or two off to do their needs, and I sleep a lot, right? And then we get ready for the holidays, and that's where we're heading into next.
Yeah, summer is busy because of the catering, and I see you light up because I know you like to serve the people in person. Like you get to be at the counter, kind of, right? So it's the old barbecue to you days of delivering barbecue to people. Now you're delivering it to events.
Yep.
And you get to kind of get out there with the people and see the reactions to your food and, have them enjoy the sides. And I'm sure that's super energizing for you. I can tell that it is. So that's super cool, super fun.
I can't tell you how much fun it is, and it was great to just see people out and being happy again, everything from the lake parties, they were renting they were renting venues and stuff like that. And, we were going out, setting up, these were not just single serving line kind of things. These were larger events this year, where we were setting up 2, 3, 4 lines at a time, to go through, because we're trying to do, you'll try to do 300-400 people in 30 minutes, right? And is what the goal is. It's insanely fun, right?
Wow. Yeah. It sounds fun. I mean, basically you're going to a party and you're bringing the great food and helping someone celebrate something cool like graduation or a wedding or, whatever else. Everything that didn't get celebrated during the worst of the worst is getting celebrated now. So you got to be a part of that. Super fun. So catering going into the holidays, when do you stop taking orders for Thanksgiving and Christmas? Like, what are sort of the deadlines? Because I know from listening to you that they kind of exist in your head, but why don't you put those out there for people? Like, if I want turkey, what date do I order by? If I want brisket for Christmas, what date do I need to let you know by?
Yeah, that one's hard right now. This year is different, right? Because if anybody hasn't heard, there's all kinds of shortages going on. And so we try to shore up our supply chains as strong as we can, particularly now in October here. We're working with our vendors for how much turkey breast are we going to do, because everybody knows I do turkey breast, right? And so we have opened the pre-orders. We are taking them for Thanksgiving. Well, this year we're doing a little bit different. We're only taking orders that we can deliver to you the day before. I will not be here on Thanksgiving Day, like I've been in the past. I'm going to get beat if I don't go home and see the family at some point. And so yeah, so I'm gonna be home all. Huh?
Excuse me, sorry. So would that be November 20?
I don't know. So what I was going to get to on that is we're kind of in partnership with our suppliers, and we're watching. We want to watch the orders come in, and the weights that people are ordering, and then we're looking over at our supplier and say, okay, this is how much I'm going to need as of today. You still got me covered, yes or no, right? And so we'll take as much as we can, but when we get that paranoia where we don't think we can get the turkey, out of the suppliers, then we'll just cut off. It'll just be a blind shot. It's a little bit less controlled than we've done the last 3 years, right? Just because of that, I'm trying to balance. I'm standing on the middle of a teeter-totter, trying to do as much as I can on one side, but then again, I've got to watch that supply chain because I don't want to disappoint anybody. Right? And it'll be that way for Christmas with the brisket too. Just right after Thanksgiving, we'll open up the books for briskets for Christmas, right? And those kinds of things. And so we'll do it the same way. You're not going to be here Christmas Day, so we'll deliver cold, right? Give you heat, warm up instructions, and which is the same thing we do here in the store. Anyway, we cook ahead, right? And so then you've got your Christmas meal.
So order up until the day before Thanksgiving, and you're going to try and throttle the availability and the supply chain issues you're dealing with, and not make any false promises.
Right.
But you got plenty of turkey to serve, and you're excited to do it. And I've heard that it's delicious. I know I tasted it last year. It was amazing, super moist and yummy. So what about Christmas? If I'm a real planner and I want to think about brisket or whatever it is I order from you for Christmas.
So like I said, we'll open up the Christmas brisket orders probably the day after Thanksgiving, right? And then we'll run those briskets. Right now, it's a little bit easier to get a hold of. The problem with brisket is it's not that you can't get a hold of it; it's just super expensive. It's almost silly what's going on right now, right? So it might this year. What I would fear about is that it's going to outprice people, just because our suppliers are just absolutely gouging us on brisket. And so guys like me, we're continuing to work our deals and keep it as cost effective as possible, right?
Yep.
So,
And so it'll be interesting to see what your volume is this year versus last year on brisket.
yeah. I'll tell you what, people love it, and we don't have any trouble kicking orders on it. I just want
Yeah,
to,
we don't.
I just feel an obligation to let the world know that, I have to pass that stuff on, right? It's just the way, the nature of business, and we'll try to minimize it as much as we can. That's my commitment to the public world, but I can't absorb it all, right? So, because it is a business after all, so.
Yeah, so Christmas dinner might be a little bit more, or you get turkey and chicken instead of all brisket this time. You also have delicious sausage with cheese in it, and there's lots of other fun
There's
things.
lots of fun meats, right?
And all the sides made ahead of time. I know that we have made the mac and cheese a tradition in my family, and that's super fun to have. The kids love it. So, yeah, super fun.
All those things will be available. Makes great Christmas Eve hors d'oeuvre dishes out of that stuff, right?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, no, I agree. It's all yummy. So, what else do you want to talk about today?
Oh, well, let's see. We've covered that, and so probably the philanthropy piece, right, is what we've got going on. I don't know how many people read your setup for this event, but we are doing here. I'm going to put this in front of me, right? We're doing the celebration of breast cancer, right? And we did something kind of special on it. You've got the soft copy of that, so you can post that with the web. Excuse me, I got something falling here. We tried to do something, or Lucy and I tried to do something special this year, in that Gig Harbor used to have a fairly large tradition around these wonderful, some of them world-renowned quilt makers that are here locally, and they used to have the big quilt auctions here. And then at some point, I think it was like 2006, 2005, 2006, they lost their venue, and they weren't able to have this event. Now, to give you an idea, this event was as big as, say, Taste of Gig Harbor is that the Rotary Club puts on, right? It was really a huge thing. And then when they lost their venue, they lost their ability to do it. This was some years ago. So what we've done is we tried to take a step, right, and tried to bring this back in. So what you'll see in the store right now, I guess we've got about 25 or so. And they're small quilts. Some of them are table runners, but these things are all handmade by some beautiful craftsmen. And we have a silent auction going on until the 22nd of this month. So we were encouraging everybody to come in and bid. These are all handmade, and they're beautiful. We've got Seahawk ones out there. We've got the traditional quilted patterns, some of those kind of things. We've even got one or two of them up at Ken Walker Jewelers, and so you can go up there and see it up there as well. But what these things do, the silent auction does, it's raising money for breast cancer, right? And particularly, the focus it's on is the dollars go to support folks who can't afford the mammograms, right? Because they can be quite expensive, and if you don't have the insurance and these kinds of things, what do? You just do without, right? And then I can tell you now from firsthand experience, or at least Miss Parker can, this is not a pleasant thing to go through, and there's lots to it. And I know that when we, last year when we were first, getting our sea legs around, oh my God, what are we going to do? Right? There was all these organizations that came out and helped us, and so I challenged Lucy to put together a plan here at the store where we could come in and do something meaningful for the breast cancer folks, right? Because they helped us out so much, right? And so that's what we're doing. And I thought it would really be cool, or we thought it would really be cool, if we could get this quilting thing reignited somehow back in the harbor. And even though it's a small version of what it ever was, it's at least a start, right? It's a way to get these people's stuff out there. It's a way to raise money for the mammograms, and and try to make an impact here locally. So that's our big philanthropy type effort this month.
So cancer has touched your family.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. It's a tough thing.
Yeah, and so you're speaking from knowing exactly, and it's overwhelming. I mean, you own a successful restaurant, and I'm sure that you have wonderful insurance, and yet you're still talking about, hey, there's help available. It's very expensive, and I know you shared with me that you even had organizations approach you and offer you, say, hey, this is going to be a road, so here's some funds. And, the only way that those organizations are able to do that is because there's people that are raising money and donating to those organizations. So
that's what we do. That's what we do.
So we'll be sharing more information about that as the month progresses, and about the organizations, and we can definitely get some pictures of the quilts up so people can know what they want to go. We're not going to do any online bidding, unfortunately.
No, but I do want people to come in and look at these ladies have done wonderful work. I mean, some of it is just beautiful needlework, right? And we've got them all covered they're coming just as you come in the door, and we've got them covered in plastic so they don't pick up the the barbecue smoke smell, right? So the ladies down here at High Tech, they were kind enough to donate the little thin plastic sheets, right, that we can put over those and keep them sealed up, kind of thing, right? But you can come in, you can see them attached to each one of the hangers where they're at is a silent auction bid sheet, and just like any other silent auction, if you want one, just write your name and do the bid, and I think Miss Lucy will give you a call if you win.
Nice. How many quilts are there?
I want to say there's at least 20 or 25 out there. I'm not 100% sure. I didn't count them all.
Yeah.
But there's 2 full racks, and then we got one that we present up by the pickup desk, right? And then we have we rotate one and up to Ken Walker Jewelers here in the plaza as well.
Very cool. Well, I'll definitely come and get some pictures of that and get the pictures of the quilts up on the Facebook page. And it sounds like Lucy's got her job cut out for her to go through all of that and pick the winners. How many winners are there going to be?
How many what?
How many winners?
Each, you're bidding on each quilt, right? So as long as there was a bid on it, I guess.
Sorry, right. Number of quilts. Got it. Duh. Okay, so 25 people will walk away with the bids. Nice. Very cool. Right. Well, what else is going on with your business for the holidays? Anything you need to talk about? Are people barbecuing out in the rain?
Yeah, like I said, we'll shift now into indoor things. Matter of fact, the one we did last week or week before last, actually, that was in the Puyallup Pavilion, right? And so we've started to move indoors, because of you can't guarantee the weather right now. Football clubs, alumni, businesses. The one we're doing next week, is a indoor event up in the Bremerton area, right? For a large company that works up there. So everything's starting to move indoors, and it's easier because I don't have to carry all the tents and everything around. But
yeah, right. So, you can just
but we really want that. We love the corporate parties. We're still doing for those that have companies that want to do parties but they're sensitive. We still do the the COVID version as well. And matter of fact, that's what we're doing next week. We're doing we'll do 200. Get this. We'll do 250 box lunches. Under COVID protocol, they're all sealed up and stuff like that. And we'll get that done between 5:30 a.m. and 9 a.m. so that I can get them delivered by 9:45 up in the Bremerton area.
Wow, right. That's incredible. Wow.
But we're doing them. We can do that. We do the evening events. We love Christmas parties. Christmas parties are so much fun. I'm hoping people will have them this year if the rules allow. Thanksgiving parties, the family get-togethers that for the drop-offs. Sometimes this little time period between approaching Thanksgiving and Christmas can be quite busy.
I would think it would be crazy busy. And the thing that we haven't talked about today is the fact that you have, how many fine young men that are serving up brisket at this counter in your restaurant. So you're talking about your catering business right now, but you also run the day-to-day operations of a restaurant in Gig Harbor, Point Fosdick there. And it's very busy and it's often at capacity. And you're also managing the availability of brisket and chicken and sausage and all those things for that restaurant as well. So it's kind of crazy what you try and do. I know you have a really good team and they're super strong, but it is a lot that you do. And I know also you have a second restaurant in Bremerton. You've got Little Boston Pizzeria that you're launching and driving. And if people don't know about Little Boston Pizzeria, you definitely need to go visit and check out their COVID specials. And Gary's a busy guy for sure.
Yeah, I don't sit still much, as you guys that try to get a hold of me can find out.
No.
But yeah, I gotta give a shout out though. I mean, summer's over. but I have 9 boys back here in the barbecue world
Mhm.
that really have done an outstanding job. And
Yeah.
I think I added it up, and I don't. These aren't final numbers, but I was
Mhm.
adding it up. We did so far since January 1. We've done almost 30 tons of just brisket out of here, out of this one pit. Out of these 9 guys have
Wow.
been the ones who've done most of the work, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, I like to talk about how I come in and cut, and Carlton comes in and cuts in the mornings, right? But
Mhm.
you look at Darren and Trevor and all those guys that sit back there and they run that pit all day long, so I can have that freedom to go do these other things, right? And
Yep.
they make sure things get on render on time and get into holding on time, right? And it's really a symphony of the 10 of us that work really hard to keep it all in motion, if you will.
Yep. I agree. It's not just you. It's this team, and I think this is a mostly accurate picture.
Yep. There's only one person not here anymore, that's in that picture. So one of these days we'll get a new one of those taken.
Yep. But you have a busy team, and they're super congenial, and there's so many compliments that come in on social media. It's fun to see
Yep.
just about the gentlemanliness and the politeness of your team, and how thorough they are, and how they treat the public. I think it's just I think it has built your reputation for sure.
Yep.
It's great
We
to see.
try.
Yep. And I
Yeah, we
think
all
that,
like customer service here, right?
yep, and that's accredited to Gary's work, mentoring and helping, and just finding good staff. So,
Well,
uh,
my big fancy dancy background's all messed up now. I don't know what you
oh,
did.
it looks
Oh,
great. It's fine. It's all good. Just looks like bricks. So,
yeah.
when Gary said earlier in the video that something was falling, we're trying this new green screen, and he was talking about the screen, but to the audience, it looks absolutely normal. So, anyway,
Oh,
well, good to see you, Gary. It's always good to chat with you. Is there anything else you want to share before we wrap up today?
nope. Just everybody be safe over the holidays. Do the right things, and if you haven't done it already, get out there and clean your pit.
Yeah, there you go. Thanks,
All right.
Gary.
All
Take
right.
care.